Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. Today, we're talking about breaking down silos with a data-intelligent platform for higher ed. I'm Larry Blackburn. I'm the CEO for Datatelligent, and today we have Debbie Phelps, who is the Executive Director, Institutional Effectiveness at Cali College. So the topics we're going to cover today, first, I'm going to give a quick overview of the current trends that we're seeing and challenges with data in higher ed. And then Debbie's going to talk about the story at Cali College and how they are becoming a data-informed culture. And then I'll go into details about the Data-Intelligent Platform and how that can be used to unify your data. So starting with current trends and challenges, I want to start with a statement, a reference to a statement that was made by the three organizations you see at the bottom. And this has been recently updated in August of 2022. And this is a paragraph out of a larger white paper that was put together. But they're saying that data is really important, right, to better understand our students and our operations in order to develop new innovative approaches for improving student recruiting, better student outcomes, and also greater institutional efficiency and cost containment. And the key point is that data are an institutional strategic asset and should be used as such. So there's a link at the bottom of this slide where you can see the full statement that covers a strategy to become a data-driven organization. So I wanted to share, as we work with our higher ed customers, what we're seeing as far as the current state of data analytics. And the first one, we are seeing a growing adoption of data in higher ed. The value has been recognized, and it's a growing trend to really make the use of data. It's being used for decision-making around student success, enrollment management, and resource allocation. However, at the same time, various maturity levels among the schools, some have advanced analytics programs, dedicated teams, tools, while others are still in the early stages of building their analytic capabilities. And we're seeing that the maturity is tied somewhat to how much they're tying data into their strategic plans and making it a strategic initiative to really use data better. And outside of just a strategic plan and incorporating there, the other key point is to look at the cultural shift that's required to have a data-driven mindset. And Debbie's going to actually talk about the story of Cali around this, right? And so it's key to promote the collaboration across departments and then break down those silos that impede that information sharing. The next three are focused on current trends that we're seeing around solutions. The first one is the primary focus of solutions is around student success and retention. That is the big need in institutions and using data to do that. And we're even seeing some schools use predictive analytics to identify those at-risk students and then provide targeted interventions. So with those solutions, schools are also making more investments in the technology infrastructure to do data. And then the newer technologies, such as cloud-based solutions, putting all your data into a warehouse or data platform. And then we're seeing growth in advanced analytic tools, such as AI tools that everyone's talking about. And then the biggest challenge that we're seeing to the advancing data in the organizations are integrating data, right, and putting all your data into a unified data environment, right? So that's the biggest challenge that we're seeing, and the overcoming data that can be siloed and put into different systems can really be the barrier for moving the data analytics forward. So now I'm going to turn it over to Debbie to talk about their story and how they're using data to become a data-informed culture.
Thanks, Larry. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for having me back to talk about our data maturity journey here at Cali College. As Larry already shared, I'm the Executive Director of Institutional Effectiveness at Cali College, and we are a medium-sized community college located in South Central Kansas. We recently served 2,266 students for the fall year, and I am an office of one. So if you thought that this type of analytic maturity is only found on a larger campus with lots of students and a number of staff in the IR office, I think you'll be pleased to know that you can accomplish a lot when you have a partner to work along with you. So Larry, if you want to, okay. So today we're going to talk a bit about the behind the scenes structure that provides the support to the data analytics on our campus. And so this is probably the part that few outside the data office understand the need for. But we do, and we understand that without the type of platform that Larry's going to talk about here shortly, it's very difficult to sustain the type of organizational learning that many of us want to have on our campus, something that really is truly data-driven. So when we began our partnership with Datatelligent, we had 4 key business and organizational challenges, and you can see those on the screen. I needed to figure out a way to turn a one-employee office into the effective type of delivery of data that you get when you have multiple roles housed inside the institutional effectiveness office. I also needed to transform non-data people into data power users. And if you're currently working on data governance structures or data literacy issues on your campus, you know what a challenge that can be. We needed to create functionality that would bring data together. I'd always had the goal of not having to VLOOKUP spreadsheets all the time. I wanted to be able to use census data alongside the information from our student information system and other types of maybe course-specific data sources that would help us really learn about what is helping students be successful. And then finally, we wanted to deliver a culture of learning that uses data-informed decision-making. And this is the type of thing that you pursue when your goal is to have a learning organization that is a campus that can evolve as quickly as the students' needs evolve. We need to be nimble to be able to meet not only the challenges that we have today, but the strategic challenges that are coming towards us in the future. So Larry, back to you. Oh, no, it's me still. So when we talked about advancing organizational data maturity on our campus, we had 3 priorities in mind. The first was we wanted to be able to deliver large quantities of data without straining the student information system. So I know that if you work in your student information system, you know how power users querying that data out of the system during the day can really slow down the flow of data to other users. We wanted to reduce that. We wanted to be able to integrate external data sets, as I said before, but we didn't want to house it all in Microsoft Excel anymore. And then we also needed to figure out a way to store snapshot data responsibly. And so let me share that when I came to Cali College in 2018, the college had recently converted from a highly individualized Genzabar system that a programmer had customized for us to the latest version of Genzabar Student Information System. And you know, that is a relational database. And while some of it can be customized, Most of the time you have module managers working in their own. And then when you go to pull data, if you're not housing it anymore on campus, you lose that functionality. So we needed to regain those historical insights so that we could compare on a day-to-day basis the past to today. All right.
When we started working with Callie, the big need that we had was to take all the various data sources that you see on the left and put them into a central repository so that the solutions on the right could be automatically and efficiently updated. So, so Callie College had this vision. Let's build a central repository of data, bring all of our data sources in. And so, as you can see here, we then started by connecting to those data sources on the left that you see. They're both internal and external sources because they wanted to get a full picture of the students' experience at Callie. So we were able to take a tool called Tableau Prep and Data Management, develop the data pipelines, which make the connections to those sources, bring them into a central repository called a data lake, and then that provides automatic updates into that repository, and we're running that on Snowflake. So then the data lake becomes that central repository where all the source data is stored, and then we can then feed those data sets on the left. And all of this, as I said, runs on a tool called Snowflake, which is a cloud data platform where you have the flexibility of having on-demand compute and storage to feed the solutions on the right. So, and Debbie, I think we were able to do all this in a couple of years, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, so we worked pretty quickly, and we saw results pretty quickly to do this.
Okay, so investing in a data-informed culture. So what does that mean? What does that entail? So for an organization to mature with the ability to sustain that growth and build onto it for future needs, you need to have an investment in data, in a culture that, as that joint statement says, sees data as an asset, something that you take care of, and that you make usable for a variety of data needs on your campus. So at Callie College, the investment that contributed significantly to where we are in our data maturity are three key points. So first off, we invested by a core team, my knowledge management team, and on some campuses, you might call us the data champions, the data stewards. And what we did was we immediately began to work to get buy-in at all levels in the campus hierarchy, not just from the administrative team, who you need so that you can get the resource investment, but also from the staff who are entering the data into the system. You really need buy-in from everyone so that the data is clean, it's good for use, and then you can do great things like creating visualizations in Tableau or Power BI. The other thing that we realized was we had to have an investment of time. I know that each of us here on the call most likely work in the data office. And so you know that non-data users outside your roles often think that a new piece of technology is just like opening up a Christmas gift. You open it up, you plug it in, and you flip the switch, and it just works. But we know that's not really true. And so anytime you invest in data technology in a platform, like Larry's been talking about, you know you need a commitment of a multi-year time span. You need to do that so that you can establish data governance rules, so that you can advance data literacy, and so that you can strengthen your organization, so that you can actually begin to make decisions that are informed by data. You know, the third thing, and I think that you really need this. All three are equally important, but without this last one, I really think that it's a struggle to get those other investments. And that's that you have to have an organization with a commitment to growth. Not only that commitment to data growth housed within IE, IR, or IT on your campus, but throughout, so that people really understand the value that that organizational maturity can bring to not only individual offices, but the entire campus. And Larry shared a joint statement on analytics earlier in the slide deck. And before I finish my portion of this, I wanted to recommend a resource that's been really helpful to me in my role here at Cali College. And it's a book called Big Data on Campus. So this volume is it's not a large book. It's edited by Karen L. Weber and Henry Y. Zhang. And what you'll find in this is a group of chapters which focus on a variety of important topics for those of us who work in data analytics on a higher education campus. So if your campus needs more information about data governance, about data literacy, about the types of behind the scenes technologies that Larry's been talking about, I highly recommend that you purchase or see if your campus's library can get this book for you. So thanks again, Larry.
Right, thanks, Debbie. So as you heard, Cali College is a great story of understanding where they wanted to go, had a vision for that, recognizing that they did need to bring all their data into one platform, and then that enabled their growth as Debbie talked about, a data-informed culture, which is campus-wide, right? So the data, it really is the enabler in all of that. And as I was saying in the first section, right, the need for integrating all your data into one place is really the first step in that. So now I'm going to talk about some more details around the Datatelligent Platform for higher ed, and talk specifically about how the platform can be used for unifying your data. So want to first put into words, what is the Datatelligent Platform for higher ed? And so the Datatelligent Platform, it's combining the power of unified data solutions and analytic solutions in a complete end-to-end platform to, one, unify the multiple data sources that exist in higher ed, present meaningful analytic solutions to make data-driven decisions, and then enable the adoption of AI, which we're seeing growing, right? The need for taking advantage of the newer AI tools and having a way to then adopt those capabilities and solutions, and it does all come back to data. So that's what the Datatelligent Platform is in words. And then in a picture, there are two parts to the platform. The first part is unified data solutions, where you're bringing in all your multiple sources into one repository that we call a data lake, and then creating data sets that feed the analytic solutions on the right, that feed solutions for student success, student retention, and enrollment. So today, we're going to focus on the unified data solutions, and then in a future webinar, we'll come back and talk about the analytic solutions. So as we dive deeper into the unified data solutions, there are multiple parts to this. So the first part is to first identify all the data sources, and they come in different formats, right? There's some on-prem, there's some in the cloud, some in database format, and there could be even unstructured files that people use. So first identifying all those multiple sources, and then creating pipelines to then connect to those and use that data. So, so as I said, right, we connect to multiple sources in multiple formats, cloud or on-prem. And then what we want are automated data pipelines that pull from those sources and provide updates regularly. And then all of that data gets stored into a central repository called Data Lake. And we use Snowflake as the primary tool. That is a cloud-based data tool that is very effective and efficient because you only pay for what you use. And there's no infrastructure, no maintenance. It's pretty much turning on a service that you can start using to manage your data. And so that data lake becomes your single repository for centralized storage. And then those feed the integrated data sets for the various solutions on the right, which can either be analytic solutions and also AI predictive solutions. So as you can see, it's a complete end-to-end data platform for feeding your solutions on the right. So here's some key benefits, and we built the platform to respond to customers' needs, right? And this is what customers told us that they wanted in a platform. So we made sure that we had these benefits. One is a need to centralize data, right? Eliminate those data silos by consolidating your data sources into a single, easy to access repository. Secondly, flexible and open, right? So we have an open architecture to our platform. This, again, we feel is a key difference for us versus other solutions that are not as open and are more locked down. So we can be very flexible, meeting the customer's needs, flexible on data sources, and also flexible on the metrics or analytics that we provide. So we want to make sure we're meeting the customer's needs and can be flexible. The third point is scalability. Because, as you heard about Snowflake, it's cloud-based. That allows the platform to then grow with your organization, right? Easy to accommodate increased data as you use more data over time. And then as you need more analytical solutions, it can also grow because of the scalability of the infrastructure. And then lastly, we know that security is important. And so the platform does address all those data protection requirements and make sure that your student data is kept safe. So I'm going to stop there, see if we have any questions. I do want to say as a sneak peek, our next webinar on February 14th will dive deeper into our analytics solutions. 3 of those that you see on the screen are the most popular in what we call our student lifecycle suite. So make sure you come back in 2 weeks for that webinar. So I will stop there and see if there are any questions. Chris?
No questions just yet. Feel free to drop any questions you have into either the Q&A or the chat section.
Okay, while we're waiting for questions, let me just put up our email addresses. Please reach out to us if you have any questions or more information that you need. Both of us are happy to continue our discussion. We will be doing some follow-up, and again, that gives you another opportunity to ask questions or ask for more information.
Okay, not getting any questions, but like Larry said, you know, we will be doing some follow-up. Plus, we'll have the next event in 2 weeks. So if you have any questions between now and then, feel free to send us an email.
Thanks everyone for attending. Appreciate your interest today, and we hope we see you at the next webinar.
We actually did just get a question.
Oh, okay.
It's for Debbie. How did you implement adoption?
Okay. So can you be a little are you saying how did we implement like the Tableau platform after we set this up with Datatelligent? Is that? Oh, so what I began with was primarily boosting data literacy on campus and bringing data from what I would call from behind the scenes. So prior to my hiring, there was not a lot of data sharing outside of activities such as strategic planning or for accreditation purposes. And so basically, I started having more conversations about data, began publishing a newsletter out of my office, and started getting data more into the everyday conversation so that my colleagues around me would realize that data wasn't something that just happened in my office. After that, we set up the knowledge management team and began to work together. After that, we chose a tool, and then actually choosing that tool is what led us to realize that we needed the help and the support that we've gotten from Datatelligent. So I would just say that we kind of built it all on increased data literacy and an understanding of what data can do.
Okay, that is all we have. So I think we can go ahead and wrap up.
Okay, thanks everyone.